Converting our SQL statement into PHP is simply a matter of enclosing it in quotes, assigning it to a variable name, and executing it with the MySQL query function. Extending this to a multiple row SQL statement has exactly the same features, in fact the same variable name, the SQL in quotes, and its execution by the MySQL query function. But in this case, we have multiple sets of values, comma separated, and enclosed in parentheses. So the values section of the SQL statement is actually a comma separated list of comma separated values, each defined by a set of parentheses. So, in the usual way, populate a fresh code pane with the appropriate header information, that's snippets, project, new script file. Let's name it insert companies 01.php and put in the appropriate date. Also document this file with what it does. This script inserts company details into the table tcompany. Copy the file name with Ctrl+C. Click Save. Paste the file name with Ctrl+V and save it. Check that it's in our DB Work in Progress folder. Here it is. Remember to insert the script connect to the database. We can't do anything with the database without that. And now we know what these two code segments do, so we can collapse them. Get rid of any spurious blank lines and position the cursor in the connection failure trap. Now insert the snippet SQL project insert companies and save the file. The snippet we've just pasted is a typical insert SQL construct. In it, I've got 3 value sections, each of which is enclosed in redundant braces. Braces is the correct English word for curly brackets. I've put in these braces so that I can easily collapse this code in Bluefish to make it easier to examine and to debug. It's a technique you can use in your own coding to collapse sections of code in large files. Notice that the SQL insert statement comprises the usual parts. There is a parenthesis enclosed list of fields. Notice we've commented out the ID field because that's auto increment and doesn't need to be included in our insert statement. There's 3 value sets, and at the end of the SQL statement we execute it and report whether it's been successful or failed. Looking at one of the value sets for the company PyCompany, we have an exact one-to-one correspondence between each field name in the first section of the SQL statement and each field value in the value set. Remember, the value set is enclosed in parentheses and is a comma separated list of values in one-to-one correspondence with the value names in the first section. So I've commented out the value name in the list of field names. So I've also commented out what might have gone in as an ID value in the value set. For now, we'll save this file. We'll open up our localhost web server and go to the index of the database work in process folder, and we see our file insert companies. Click on that to run the script in the browser. It's reported that our insert statement has been successful. Let's check that in PHP MyAdmin. Ensure you're at the top level and that you've got a list of databases displayed. Select our project database, Alpha CRM, and let's browse the company tcompany where we've just inserted rows. And here they are, the 3 rows that we inserted using PHP. We've satisfied ourselves that our PHP code has actually placed the rows into the database. Returning to the script, this may seem an altogether cumbersome way of inserting data into a database. It is. It's clearly not even as efficient as using the PHP MyAdmin data entry table we started with. However, it's only the first stage in creating a functionally similar web form, like the PHP MyAdmin form, that has the advantages of simplifying the form for your non-technical end users, checking the validity of data when users attempt to save it, and streamlining the feedback that users get when their data entry either succeeds or fails. That's where we're headed, but we do need to understand the foundations we're building before we can get there.